Monday, April 8th, and this is the Three Nerds in a Basement podcast. I'm your host, Vince, and joined with me today is...
Blaven.
Anthony.
And this week on the show, we have the delayed exclusive review of G.I. Joe Retaliation. Then in our picks of the week, we've got...
Delayed exclusive. It's exclusively delayed.
Yeah.
And then in our picks of the week, we've got things, game developer interviews, gambling, and of course, it wouldn't be a Three Nerds in a Basement podcast without Blaven talking about magic cards.
What? Not magic cards.
I mean, card games. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
I had a little bit of a mix-up there. So let's get into the main event. G.I. Joe Retaliation. This is the follow-up to, I believe it was 2011's G.I. Joe...
Blockbuster smash Oscar-winning
Rise of Cobra.
Rise of Cobra, right?
That starred Channing Tatum.
Channing Tates.
One of the Wayans brothers?
Damon Wayans? No.
Marlon.
One of the Wayans brothers was in that movie?
Yeah, he's in the suits, man.
Christopher Eccleston, and of course, Sienna Miller.
Hmm.
This follow-up doesn't really have any of those actors or actresses, and the story kinda is only partially related. And instead, what we have is The Rock.
As Roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
And a whole other band of misfits who really don't matter.
Yeah, they do. This is just underselling.
No, they really don't.
They don't.
It's him in Storm Shadow.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like Snake Eyes, but he's
just there. Even Snake Eyes takes a back seat.
He does. So what Storm Shadow, man.
Exactly.
Oh, Storm Shadow.
Premise here.
Storm Shadow.
Nuclear strikes on the world.
Actually, no. The premise is that at the end of the first movie...
Oh, right. That's fine.
Zartan takes over as president. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Why didn't you question that?
Why?
You've never seen the first movie, right?
Yeah.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Then why were you like, why is the president not the president?
I just accepted this movie for everything it gave me.
Yeah, so in the end of the first movie, how can you say it's not related? Zartan takes
I said it's vaguely related.
Vaguely, that's the whole point. But anyway, so yeah, Zartan is now, he's the head of camouflage and like disguises, and he becomes the dude who's just known as the president.
As soon as I heard Zartan, Master of Disguise, in that movie, without seeing the first one, I was like, he's the president.
Yeah.
And I called it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can say you called it. They tried to make it plainly obvious because you're supposed to know that he's the president.
But I didn't know.
Again, they're trying to make that obvious. They go in with the assumption that
it was
you know.
hidden. It was a hidden message.
Now you know.
Yeah. You know, Blaven? Just tell me about it.
Okay, I don't know what you guys thought about this movie, but
Yeah, you do.
I kind of liked it.
Well, that's good.
I kind of liked
That's
it.
good.
However, I did find it really lacking in any sort of plot cohesive department.
Okay. That's a fair criticism.
Yeah. So, throughout this whole movie, their whole band of brothers our band of Joes are trying to basically take Zartan out of office.
Yes.
And they've been attacked by the U.S. Army, so they have no friends or allies.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason in there, they can throw in a ninja story arc. Don't know how they did that, but it was there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what possible spoilers here. And apparently the reason they needed is because only Storm Shadow knew the plan. But it's like, really? the only way you could have found this plan is to have another ninja hunt down a ninja.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow. And just, there's so many, I guess basically what this movie was missing was basically all the characters didn't really, I don't think they really meshed well together at all. Yep. It's like they were just all separate. Like they all had their, oh god, what am I trying to get at here? Like everybody was basically a backseat to The Rock and Storm Shadow.
Uh-huh.
Like even Cobra Commander wasn't even in it that often except to take the glory from whatever happened.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean when every character really didn't contribute much to the movie besides being the yes men.
Yeah.
Or like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even like the main bad guy, I guess now, who spent more screen time was Firefly. And he was the main rival of The Rock.
Yeah.
And Storm Shadow was the main rival of Snake Eyes, but Snake Eyes didn't even do anything in this movie at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like the action was good. I think the biggest plus about this movie is worth the admission is just seeing Lee Byung-hun's body, Storm Shadow's body. I think that's what his name is.
Okay.
Like that is worth admission. That those 5 minutes of glory.
Okay.
And just so yeah, good movie if you want to see nice body. Serious, man.
Okay.
Serious, is good body.
Anthony.
I love this movie. I really do love this movie, but don't take that as it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It is. I like this movie the same reason I watch Fast and the Furious on a bi-weekly basis, which is that movie is just dumb fun.
No.
And, yeah.
I don't see the relationship here.
Dude, both those movies are idiotic. That are just all about action and like gratuitous action.
No, there is no connection.
Dude,
it's so good. No, there's no connection.
That's what I felt there was. I felt that the reason I like this movie is the same reason I like the Fast and the Furious series. It's just because it's ridiculous. And the plot has no bearing on my enjoyment of the movie. It's just the action scenes that I saw and all the stereotypical action tropes that I witnessed.
A lot of tropes. A lot of tropes.
Yeah. I don't got much more to add on that because over what Blaven said. But that is the reason. That is the sole reason I enjoyed this movie.
So basically, this movie is lacking in substance, and it's all, I guess, basically it's just action movie fodder.
Yeah, I like action movies so much that I like them on, like, they don't really have to be good.
Yeah,
they just have to hit the points that I like the tropes that I like, and then I'll enjoy it. It's not like I don't have a high bar for action movies. Like when I see a good one, I know it, like Taken and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I can enjoy those really, really bad action movies.
Yeah.
So
nice. No. Okay, so your likeness, your comparison to Fast and the Furious. I'll use Blaven's argument for this movie as to why I don't see the connection. In Fast and the Furious, all the actors and characters, they mesh together.
Okay.
They work off each other.
Oh, thank God somebody understands.
In every scene in G.I. Joe Retaliation, every time they tried to pull off like a corny joke, it just felt awkward. That entire intro scene with Duke and The Rock playing video games, that was just painful to sit through. And then every other character interaction where they tried to put in jokes with each other, like even The Rock with Snake Eyes, and Snake Eyes doesn't say anything. He's like, "Damn ninjas!" I'm like, that wasn't funny. That wasn't funny at all.
Anthony loved that one.
It was so good.
Like, and then The Rock even has a line where he says, "I trained with Snake Eyes for 6 years." I'm like, so what? You're a fucking ninja too? Like, what's going on? And then he goes out and gets his ass beat by Firefly, this kind of nobody who's an explosives expert.
He can make Firefly grenades, and then he has a bike that explodes into missiles.
See, that's the thing too. He made the whole spiel about him being the strongest on the block.
Yeah,
and then this guy just beats him up.
Exactly.
He grew up on a tougher block.
I don't know, like, this movie made no sense to me.
He was Russian. He grew up on a tougher block.
Like, I will admit,
he was Russian?
I don't know. He looked Russian.
He was American.
Was he? Was Firefly American?
I don't know. I have no idea.
But the big thing, too, is, like, yeah, Storm Shadow, he's supposed to be, like, a anti-bad guy, but then I don't know how they made... Basically, in one scene, he was with the Joes... Yeah. And then the next day, he's right next to Cobra Commander. Yeah. But how did he get there?
I don't quite understand Storm Shadow's motives.
Yeah.
After so long, Storm Shadow is a guy who's, I'm in it for myself.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't even know why he would hop around with the Joes.
Yeah, like, he could have just gone after the guy himself. Because
he's always there.
Because he could have done the plan by his own, because he's a ninja and stuff. And, like, with that kind of body, like, it's fine whatever he does.
This movie was just plot hole city. They hype up Bruce Willis in this,
but he doesn't do anything.
He barely does anything except
he gives you a bunch of guns, and then he calls that girl Brenda a lot.
Yeah,
and then he also shoots a guy out of the back of a
truck. Okay, what was that thing with Brenda? I don't understand that Brenda thing.
No one does. It's just put in there for no reason. There's a lot of like questionable story issues with this. You know what my biggest problem was? Where I knew this movie was just complete bullshit?
Here we go.
When they're at the meeting with all the leaders.
Yeah.
And everything's gone down. G.I. Joe's intrude.
Yeah.
And Cobra Commander has that like briefcase laptop thing, right?
Yeah.
The Cobra Commander takes off and he points to Firefly and says, "Make sure they don't get that." I'm like, why aren't you taking that, Cobra Commander?
No, that's the trope. That's one of the action tropes.
God!
That's the thing that I love. It's like as soon as they even have it in Akiba Rangers.
I know.
They point it out. It's as soon as the main guy tells someone to keep something safe and leaves, they will fail and lose it.
I know, and that is why I don't like. That is why this movie is not fun. Where Fast and the Furious is, because Fast and the Furious doesn't succumb to these tropes. They find clever ways around that to make it interesting.
They're still pretty trope heavy.
But they're not. That's the thing. Like, this movie, its sole existence, and I hate to say this, because I fall to this all the time, is to sell toys to kids. And that is it. If you are a G.I. Joe fan, there are a ton of Cobra-inspired vehicles. They even managed to throw in the Hiss tanks in this. And Cobra Commander even has a cool helicopter. Like, it is all here to sell toys. And you can tell all the actors know this.
Okay, that's the other thing, too. If this movie was meant to sell toys, they did the middle finger.
The thing is, though, this movie has no blood.
Even when people got shot, there was no blood.
There's no blood in this film.
But the middle finger is...
Mm-hmm.
What?
But if you're very careful, the bottom half of his hand is out of scene, so you only see the top half of the fingers. So it's implied that he's giving him a middle finger.
But don't
for
know
those who don't know...
You're right, though, actually. I saw that.
Yeah.
And the mother F word is cut out before even the F.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, this is a movie to sell toys, and everybody's here to make a paycheck, and you know that.
As soon as the giant ass Hasbro symbol came up, I knew what I was in for, and I loved every minute of it.
The Brenda thing is like a G.I. Joe and G.I. Brenda.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like the...
Okay, well, there we go. Like, if you are... what I'll say is, if you are a classic G.I. Joe fan from the 80s, you will love this movie. I mean...
His tanks?
Exactly.
The tank that, like, the top retracts up, and it's like a snake?
Sure, yeah. Like on the Cobra side. Yeah. Like, if you are a G.I. Joe fan from the 80s, you will love this. You will think this is the greatest movie of all time. But bear in mind, fans of cartoons from the 80s, like myself, we know that it's complete garbage. Like, I will admit, the original Transformers, I'm a huge fan. Complete waste of time. I will not recommend that show to anybody.
The first one?
Exactly. Like, I would compare this movie to Transformers: The Revenge of the Fallen. Great action sequences, but as a movie... holy fuck, it was garbage.
Yeah. I'd see it again, though. Just that 5 minutes of... until I can get it on Blu-ray.
You'd watch Snake Eyes come out of the...
Storm Shadow!
Storm Shadow come out of the tank, and then you're like, alright, I'm out.
Yeah. That body. Yeah. He's always in white, too.
He is.
Okay, so when he broke that guy's neck and his shirt came off, did he take off his shirt?
He took it off.
Or did he break someone's neck so hard that his shirt came off?
He took it off. You saw he bent over, his hands came over his waist section to pull off his shirt.
I saw it more of like he broke that guy's neck so hard that his shirt came off.
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he just pulled
I
off
like
his
my
shirt.
idea better.
He used to dual katanas again, though.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And he clamped them together?
How did... Okay, here's another thing, too. Remember how that one guy was, like, twirling around Snake Eyes' swords?
Yeah.
And then, for some reason, Storm Shadow just pulls off, like, a little just cloth thing of the black part so that it reveals his actual sword. How did that guy not feel that was, like, you know what I mean? Because, like, it looked like he just, like, it was, like, just pulling off a slipcover.
Yeah.
But the guy didn't feel that?
I just don't think he cares. Because he knew it was not Snake Eyes, right? Because they thought they got Snake Eyes?
No, but he played with the swords before he took off the mask.
I thought that was after. Oh, okay.
Before he was like...
And then when he took off the mask, he's like, oh, fuck this, and he threw his swords down.
Yeah, I was like, but if he threw his swords down, wouldn't the slipcovers...
That's another thing. Main baddie in that scene leaves Hero's weapons in clear sight. And then leaves the room.
Yeah. Like, this movie's terrible.
Love it.
It's fucking terrible.
It's trope-tastic.
Oh, I love Storm Shadow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just haven't seen an action movie like this in a long time. And
you haven't seen a kid's action film?
In a long time. Like the last one I can remember was Last Action Hero, but that was purposely made to point out action hero tropes.
Yeah. You know what, though? Like, yeah, Vince, when I saw you watching it, you're like, you're not having a good time.
I was livid, man.
You're livid?
I was livid.
Oh, like you hated it?
Yeah. I was like, what am I doing? I want to walk out. But because you drove, I'm like, oh, I can't leave.
No, honestly, like when I was sitting next to you, like when I see, oh, that's pretty cool. See, I look over and you're just like angry.
Yeah, I was like, this is a complete waste of time.
I wanted to flip out so bad at certain parts. But you with your fucking stoic ass face of like, fucking want to be here. I'm so angry. Like, I thought I'd be like, yo, that was awesome. You'd be like, fuck you, and just like walk out the theater.
Yeah, no, because I was sometimes like, you know, like I have that problem with sitting still in movies, but like I was pretty still during this movie because like I was just trying to wrap my head around everything.
Yeah.
But then I look at you sometimes and you're just sitting there like dug in and you're just like, just bear with it.
I was waiting for this movie to be over because then when it ends, it just ends.
It does just end.
It just ends. And it's like, what? No, it just ends?
And how excited I was!
No
so excited.
cliffhangers, no nothing.
I was excited too. Like in the end, when like they were like showing like behind the credits were some people like moving and stuff. Like, oh, there's gonna be post credit stuff. No, it's rehashed stuff from the And like, what?
Yeah.
You couldn't shell out for a little bit of extra material.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say about this movie, though, future tech weapons were pretty sick.
For 2 seconds.
What future tech weapons?
Firefly grenades, the bike missiles, dropping the pillar from space that leveled the country.
The curving bullet.
The curving bullet, when he shot that bullet and then he curved his gun, and it was like Wanted style.
Yeah, that action trope of destroying everything. That button that destroys everything.
Oh,
kind of lame.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Fucking stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fucking dumb.
If anything, it rekindled my interest in trying to look like Storm Shadow.
All right, what's the verdicts in stars or in points out of 5s?
Dude, this one's gonna be like a 1 star.
Real?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a 1 with the biggest feeling of regret.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 2 star. I'm not on the level of him.
Mine's like a +3. Like I'm almost at 4.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's okay. That's fair. Because you toned it down. I thought you were gonna like go.
No. 4 is reserved for things that I actually think are good, and not just like because of the odd likes I have.
You're so confusing. The way you talked about this movie when it was over.
Oh.
You were like, I thought you were gonna like say like this is the best movie you've ever seen, and you're like, you even said I think this is the best movie I've seen this year.
No, I was trying to be very sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
During that time.
I understand what you mean.
That's why I was like, yo, best movie 2013.
It hits all the.
It hits all the right buttons. Don't say that.
It hits all the right buttons for me.
No, that's what I mean.
Okay.
It hit all the right buttons for you, but you know that your.
But I know technically this is not a good movie.
This is not the.
But it hit everything I wanted it to hit.
I gotcha. I know what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was just too transparent in what it was trying to pull off.
I think that Storm Shadow's shirt was transparent enough.
Okay. Is that why he got an extra star? Because the Storm Shadow?
No, his tailcoats were a lot nicer than his body. Like his full getup.
He had a pretty sick jacket.
He did look good.
Yeah,
I want that jacket.
His full white jacket with the straps, the tailcoats.
And the 2 swords which magically disappear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Snake Eyes. Take my sword, but I got one. It's okay. Take my sword.
My sword's better. It's black.
I don't understand.
It's to show that they're bros now, man. It's symbolic.
No, because he's still going to be out for himself.
Symbolic.
They can never be together.
It's so tragic, I know. It's so tragic.
Oh, what a terrible movie! Picks of the week. Let's go.
So good.
Anthony, let's go.
Mine's a quick thing. It's not a video or like an article or anything. It's 10 shorts.
Thank you for putting Storm Shadow as the email.
It's 10 short stories about, or 10 short clips about 10 people who beat the casino. So
is this in recent times?
In some way in the past, some recent times. So they've pointed out like the ones like that movie 21, the MIT class that beat up blackjack and stuff. But there are some other really cool ones that I didn't know about, like, and they range from like just pure skill and dedication to just random luck. Mm-hmm. One of them was a guy at the craps table. He actually developed a way to roll dice so that when he bounced it off the back wall, it would land on, I forget what you need for craps.
Yep.
6 or something?
Mm-hmm.
It would land on what he needed. Or it was a very, very high likelihood that it would land on that.
Right.
And he would just practice day after day on a table he made himself that was a replica of of a craps table at the casino, and then he won millions, and then was barred from like most of the casinos in the area. Or another one was the pure luck one was that one time at a poker table, these guys were sitting down, and so how casinos buy cards is that because they play with more than one deck, right?
Yeah.
They buy stacks. They buy like stacks of bulk cards, but they buy them pre-shuffled. So what happened is that the manufacturer didn't shuffle them, so they were all in order, and so the players noticed that they were getting the same hand every so often. So then they all caught onto this, won millions of dollars, got kicked out of the casino, and then the casino tried to sue the players because they noticed that it was the same hands every time, right? So it's like they're cheating the system, but then they determined that it wasn't cheating, that was the manufacturer's fault. And it's just crazy stories. It's like, in my mind, like a casino is something you need an Ocean's 13 team to bust. Like you need crazy dedication, and like some of these guys, like regular Joes, just won millions of dollars either by pure luck or just like pure skill. Like,
well, in Ocean's 13, they're not really winning at the casino.
Well, yeah, they're
robbing a casino.
They're robbing a casino. Yeah, but still, it's like you need to be of this caliber of smartness, like the MIT team, like 21.
Yeah,
like you need to be the toppest of the top because they also have great minds thinking of how to stop you from beating it, right? But yeah, I don't know. There was the last one I'll say is that the guy beat the slot machines. Him and his friends would go around, block the view of security cameras, and then he would input a chip into the thing, and so then every so often on the spin, it would get a jackpot, but then it would always be a different person to win that jackpot on the slot machines, and then they'd take the chip out and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. It was just a really interesting story.
But how did you hear about this?
It was on this site I go on called Tested.com.
Ah.
I think I watched a documentary about this a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
There's tons of stories.
Yeah, they're all equally as mind-boggling.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. It's all from like simple things to really complicated scenarios. Yeah.
You gonna go to the casino?
You need some money? I can't remember. I think the most recent event though was like in the early 2000s. I think.
Really?
So I don't think there's been any major thing that's happened very recently.
I know Darren Brown's banned from casinos.
I bet. I put money on that. All right, that's my pick of the week.
That's awesome.
Okay. My pick of the week is Nintendo put up a developer interview.
Yes.
With their own developer, Intelligent Systems. They made the Fire Emblem Awakening game. And the interview was done by the localization team called 84 Play. And I thought this was an interesting interview because it revealed some. I don't know if you guys took a look at it or not.
No,
I read
the
first two
apologize.
pages.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. I'll tell you all the interesting things.
Sweet.
So they what they tried to do with this game was they tried to create the all-star Fire Emblem game. That was their theme.
All-star?
Yeah, they wanted to get all the mechanics from previous Fire Emblem, all the best mechanics from previous Fire Emblem games.
Oh, I thought you meant characters.
No, put them in here, and then their second big goal was how can we make this appeal to more of the West?
Okay.
Why don't you tell me how they did it? Why don't you tell me how they did it?
So what they did was, yes, they picked up all they went around and played all the Fire Emblems, and they're like, what are our favorite mechanics? So they picked up the pairing system. Basically, when you stand beside somebody, you get stat buffs, or you have paired attacks.
Okay.
They have a marriage system.
Hot.
So you marry your favorite units together. Their offspring gives off a unit that has combined stat bonuses.
Now, are these actual characters, like as in like they'll be part of the story, or is it just their offspring?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you choose to get no offspring, then they're just not there.
They're just not there.
Oh, wow.
That's weird.
Yeah, and they have like combinations for all the different types of stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's a lot of writing.
Actually,
it is. And they talked about like there's just pages and pages of writing they had to do for this, and they had to think about all the different scenarios that could come out. And there was one guy who had to read through all the dialogue to make sure there was no contradictions in certain characters.
Just one dude?
Yeah, to make sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
That there was no contradictions in every character's personality. They basically had like a Bible about every character and how they are. And so he'd have to fact check it.
That's so crazy.
I realized that like
it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
I know that like all games have those kind of things. Yeah. Like they make weird backstories that we never know about characters just to make sure their personality. I wish they would release those kind of things.
Yeah,
like I wish games would release design docs just to the public, like in a nice book.
So they talked about like who were the lead developers, and it turns out the main lead has been on Fire Emblem since Fire Emblem 4. And then the right hand, or like the second in command, is the guy who made Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, wow.
So they're like, yeah. And then when Nintendo asked me, I said, yes, I love Fire Emblem. I'm going to be on this. And then they're like, well, we want to take a new art direction for Fire Emblem to appeal to the West. So who did they employ? They're like, let's employ the guy who does all the artwork for No More Heroes.
Oh,
so he did all the artwork. Cool. They're like, No More Heroes seems to be like a successful Western game within a distinctive art style, so let's hire him. And then they said, what can we do to appeal even further to Western audiences? And like,
Suda 51.
They put in a first person camera for the battles because they're like, Western people love first person, right? So when you go in the battles, there is an option for first person camera.
So you just see your guy moving around?
Yeah.
That's kind of sexy.
And so when he jumps, like you can see with the sword slash and everything, it's all first person, and you can look around.
What?
With the control stick.
What?
And then the final thing they decided on was, how do we feel about permadeath?
Dun, dun, dun.
You can turn it off.
And they said, should we take out permadeath? Or at least include a casual mode? And all the 4 lead developers were like, no, this is stupid, Nintendo. Why would you even say that? This is not Fire Emblem.
And they did it.
Long story short, it ends up one day they put it in, and ironically, they all play on casual now.
What?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Really?
Yeah, they all play on casual.
Less pressure.
Yeah. But no, it just offered up some interesting things, and it was a really interesting...
Yeah, I feel like people who don't play on casual mode, especially with these hard kind of games, who just want it just for the sheer, achievement purpose of like Fernandez, people see tasks or like anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, why are they doing that? They're just basically, I know, Anthony, it's me.
No, like I'm also about an hour into Fire Emblem. Like I put it on classic.
Did you say hour?
An hour.
I thought you'd be waiting.
No, I just started today.
Oh.
Yeah, and like, I put it on classic, and
do you like it?
Yeah, I love Fire Emblem on classic.
Do you reckon it's kind of like it can tide me over as a Super Robot Wars clone?
I will tell you more about the game next week.
Okay,
but to answer your question, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think the pairing system and the team attacks will really make it feel like, oh, this is Super Robot Wars.
Cool.
Like sometimes they'll come in for counters. Sometimes they'll just become, like if you put like your it's not coming to me. Basically like not a tower. The guy who always takes the hits.
Okay, alright. Yeah.
If you put him beside like a sniper, like he'll jump in and he'll take the hit and it'll be like no damage and stuff.
Ooh.
And then the sniper can follow up with a counter and yeah. And like yes, there are only certain attacks you can do when you haven't moved and But no, the Fire Emblem interview was it was a good read.
It's informative.
Very informative, learning about decision. And they even go into things like how we decided on maps and the art style, and like our goal was to keep the game running at 60 frames per second in the map and in the battles at 30 frames. And they talked about how their main goal in terms of technical development was to keep speed at its fastest. They just wanted to make sure you can get through these battles with efficiency. And then they finally touched upon why in the game the character models don't have feet.
What?
Yeah, so when Fire Emblem's development first started, they didn't have the final specs on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
And for character models, they put in all the main joints and stuff in a polygonal body, but they didn't know if the 3DS would have enough power to include one extra joint, being the ankle.
Oh.
And so by the time they got the final specs for it, Fire Emblem was too far into development that they couldn't put in the ankle joints. So when you play Fire Emblem, it'll look like everybody's like on heels. Like their legs just end. Yeah.
It's funny.
It's interesting.
Weird.
But yeah, no, I thought it was a fun read. Guys, check it out if you're into Fire Emblem. Blaven, do you want to tell me about your pick of the week?
Yeah, my pick of the week is really quick, actually. I just wanted to put it out there that Weiss Schwarz has announced that their release dates for their products. They're coming up. And yes, as I said before, it was hinted at Sword Art Online, but that is actually what they're coming out with. So Madoka Magicas first, I forget the date. Then the Sword Art Online trial deck. Then the Sword Art Online booster set. and then I don't know after that. And they have a website that's live. It should be in the show notes. And yeah, I don't know. For me, Weiss Schwarz. I mean, the thing about me is like, oh, I like Vanguard because I watched the anime show.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wait, Weiss Schwarz is all the anime, has all these anime shows. Will this mean I like it? So I'm kind of worried for my wallet.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. I haven't finished Sword Art Online, but I can see that it's had a massive success here.
I think it was probably the biggest anime of last year.
Yeah, so the fact that it's so popular, I feel like they did a smart move with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the beginnings of that anime getting localized.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the fact that they're doing this as the cards and whatnot, I don't know, it seems like it'll give you an incentive to buy cards, but I mean, some people, because they allow you to use Japanese cards in tournaments and stuff. I don't really see an upside to this for people who are currently playing, who are really invested in the game. Mm-hmm. I guess this is their way of just appealing to us, see if the game will fly here. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there'd be maybe a lot more people who were interested but didn't want to go through the trouble of downloading the translations for every card.
Probably, yeah. So yeah, I'm probably gonna pick up
all of
these.
it?
No, I'm probably gonna pick up these so that Vince will play, and then and then you play with Christian because none of these guys appeal to me. When Fate Zero comes out, maybe I'll get that stuff. Yeah. Which I don't understand why they didn't release that, because it does have a deck on its own, or even Disgaea, but whatever. They just gotta make money first, right?
Mm-hmm. But you know what, Fate... Actually, I don't know how big the
it's not, but they already have a trial deck, so like that's a base starting point already, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Weiss Schwarz, like, I don't know. It's very compelling idea to think that, like, because you can potentially grab anybody who doesn't really have a feigning interest in card games, as long as you hook them on one of the licenses.
That's true.
Like, it is very smart from a business point of view. Like, because like, I don't really care for card games, but like the minute you told me, like, I'm in. Sure, if there's a Persona deck. Sure.
That's one of the biggest too, Persona. Yeah. So yeah, and like I know like shittier series like Nichijou and Bakemonogatari, like that kind of shit.
Yeah,
probably won't. Boo. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He likes Bakemono.
No, I know.
I won't defend it though.
No, but like
I understand what it is.
Yeah, but those kind of like those licenses, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they'll ever make it here. Like that sucks.
I don't think
like Fairy Tail and stuff. Like I want that to make it here.
I think Fairy Tail can make it here,
but I don't think it's even. Is it even?
Yeah,
localized?
they sell English localized mangas.
I finally saw one of those in the stores. I didn't realize it looked exactly like One Piece.
Yeah.
I've said this before, and it's insane, right?
I didn't realize
it's by the guy who does Rave Groove Master, which also looks like One Piece. The girls especially.
Yeah.
You mean like
this
-5 waist and then like triple
and then
Z
big eyes.
And
but yeah, so I'm kind of excited for all this jazz.
Release dates are when?
Release dates are June and May. So basically, my money's gone on May because the new Vanguard set comes out, and in June SOA comes out, and then I'm sure the next Vanguard set will be out by then. Yo, this company Bushido was a small company last year, but man, they're pumping out shit like there's no tomorrow. I don't know if they're working hard or they're just getting like
they're just in the red.
What do you mean?
Like they're probably in debt. They're just banking on it for success.
Yeah, I hope not.
That's how you start a business.
I like their card games more than I like Magic so far now. So like, yeah. Oh, but Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Nobody likes Yu-Gi-Oh! Come on.
Classic.
Even the people who play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, not even people who play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Can I say something? Actually, can I just share a little
Yu-Gi-Oh!
story?
Players, they lament themselves.
See, I saw Yu-Gi-Oh! Players in the weekend.
Okay.
And these guys...
I saw them in the wild.
I saw them, like, I was looking at and I was hiding in the tall grass. And, like, these guys were like, yo, listen, don't get any more... Like, it sucks. This was a shop for the shopkeeper, but I don't know if they're even, like, affected by this. It's like, yo, bro, don't get any more boxes from that box right there, because the ghost rare's already been pulled. So, I was like, what does that leave with the... What happens to the box? Like, nobody wants them... And because only the Yu-Gi-Oh! Players buy Yu-Gi-Oh!, right? It's like, who's going to buy from that box now? No one. It's like, can you open up a new box? It's like, that's so wasteful.
Yeah, no, that's just that, like, I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are...
Oh, you mean in the booster?
Yeah, in the booster case, in the booster box, right? I think, do they have a guaranteed...
No, there's not a guaranteed ghost. It's not.
Yeah, but see, and then they're like, the ghost rare has been pulled.
Well, if there was one in there and it's been pulled, then there's no ghost. Because there will only be one per box. So
okay.
It's not guaranteed to be in the box at all.
Oh, okay.
Like, remember when I bought my booster box?
Yeah.
No ghosts.
Yeah, but, the fact that that's gone, and, like, that box is now, to them, lost all its value.
Yeah.
That sucks. Like, it's like, who's gonna buy from that box? No one's gonna pick from that box. What's he gonna do with all that?
Well, that's rough.
And then it's like, yeah, can you open up a new box for us? And he did. And I'm like, wow. But I guess you got to keep your player base happy, right?
You know what you do with that?
What?
You fill up that new box with old boosters after you
just
pack
shuffle
it, and it's
them
like,
gone.
oh no, this is a fresh box, whatever.
Yeah,
Like that's easy, but
yeah, man. Immorally
like,
wrong, but
dude, I saw these people.
whatever. Fuck off. It's fucking card games. Who cares?
But like, yo, like I saw these guys too, right? When they buy, like, I've never seen somebody, except for Magic, like one guy bought like 6 cases.
Like boxes?
Boxes of boxes.
Oh, cases
Boxes of boxes.
Oh.
And this guy, like, he's just dropped like how much, and he bought a case, and I'm just like, that's insane. But I don't. I guess that's for every card game. But like, I've never seen someone buy.
I've seen people drop cases for like every card game imaginable.
Yeah, I've never seen that though. That's the first time I've seen that.
I remember when I was a kid, like when I used to hang out at the mall a lot, I saw a guy buy a case of Digimon cards.
I've never seen that, and it was insane to see how much he had.
Yeah.
And like when he opened it, it's like so many of the cards were just thrown away because it's just like
You have so many of them when you buy a case, right?
No, but it's like these are no value. And it's like to somebody else that one rare was like, I need that for my deck.
Well, usually you keep all the rares.
Yeah, but yeah, it's insane. And then it's like somebody even suggested weighing packs.
Weighing packs because the foil has
heavier.
Yeah. No, that's too much.
Yeah, right. Like, just, man.
If that's the case, you have to bank on the fact that all the boxes are the same weight.
And you also
they weigh the packs. Oh, so it doesn't matter? It's a box.
Oh,
right?
they just weigh the packs.
Yeah. So it's like the foil is X grams heavier.
Then you have to assume every package has the same weight.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
And that's not gonna happen.
But yeah, no, like I've never seen like even the Magic one. It was disgusting because this guy bought 6 cases and he had so many cards, and the rest just went into the
garbage.
Yeah.
Did he even recycle it?
Yeah, he did. But like, it's just like, man.
Well, he just threw them out.
Yeah. After every draft, Teach, you saw, right?
So yeah, so this that's crazy. Is that which blew my mind is every time I go to a draft with this kid, at the end of the draft there are so many cards,
hundreds of cards
left on tables.
Just take them.
Yeah.
No, we did, but it's
what
like
we do as like I feel like a fucking like hobo scrounging through the garbage for food. But you just like scrounge through all these leftover cards and like pick up the trimmings that nobody else wants.
Which is, I feel bad about doing this hobby in this way because it's so wasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
even you did that.
No, I know.
We opened up all those packs, right? And you said you already have a playset of all these cards, and you just recycled all
and
the
I
cards.
realized that, like, that's why I should stop. Like, if I do draft, like, okay, I should draft, but I shouldn't keep buying packs if I need cards because it's just a waste for me because I don't collect that many. Yeah, so it's pretty insane just to see all that wasted cards.
Yeah, man.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You're responsible for clear cutting forests.
Yeah, but like, it's not gonna stop me. Like, this is why everybody, whenever I play card games, like every time we go to Dungeon Comics to play, we pay for the entry fee and stuff. It's like, what do you want for your packs? Like, I don't want any. I already bought all my cards in singles. I don't need packs because I already have the cards I want. And when I do buy things, when I do trade in my store credit, I buy like dual decks or like, you know, a new card game with the starter decks. So it's like, you know,
you don't buy more of the same pack hoping for something.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what they do, and I'm just like, that's kind of weird. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. But yeah, so recently I just bought Kaijudo.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because there was a starter deck for $20, and there was 2 of them in the box, and they both came in solid, like, cardboard cases with magnetic closing strips. And I'm like, what? For $20? All right. Game plays like Magic. Huh. So I'm not upset about it, but and then I started playing with Blaze, and holy shit, he knew how to play already.
He's a shonen.
No, he's like, yo, this is Duel Masters.
Oh, nice.
It's Duel Masters, but it came back after it went down under. Yeah, so I was like, man, that's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So yeah. Public service announcement. Yeah, Weiss Schwarz coming out. Double sleeve your cards, people.
Double sleeve. Wow. You know what?
What?
Go naked. Let's go naked, man. Go to tournaments, just that grimy table, like feel my cards fresh.
Brevin's gonna die every time she sees that.
Oh, hold on, let me use my nail to pick up this card. Makes you wanna.
Oh man, that shit got bent. Oh well.
Oh, it's foil too.
Hey, now it's like battle worn. I like that.
You know, okay. I unsleeved one of my cards recently
boy.
just to change it out.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how fucked up my sleeves get because of like how much I play with the cards. Like it has scratches and like it's like cloudy and like the card inside is like, wow, it's so bright. I put the sleeve on, man, I could barely see it.
You need some new sleeves.
Oh god. It was
Gotta throw out those old sleeves.
No, you know those sleeves are the protectors of my sleeve.
Oh.
They clear on top of the thing. It's like, man.
I'm gonna get the hard casing sleeves.
Yeah, that's good. Oh,
No, you gotta get the
thing
ones
that they
where-
ship my cards in.
Yeah.
No, you need to get the ones that you screw closed.
Oh.
I have a big ass.
This
Deck.
big ass
Yeah.
stack.
Yeah, this guy's serious.
Click, click, click,
Click, click, click. How's your hand looking? Fantastic.
and protected.
Good.
All right, cool.
All right, all right.
Sweet. Let's take a quick break. So, Anthony, why don't you tell me about what you've been doing in the past week?
So in the past week, I got some DLC, downloadable content.
Oh boy!
For
Exciting!
for Devil May Cry,
Oh boy!
and so you guys know that I really like DMC. I already mentioned it on this podcast. I
Yeah,
really enjoyed it.
yeah.
So I downloaded the Bloody Palace add-on, which was free,
Okay.
and that is pretty much the Endless Tower mode, the Endless Battle mode from 3 and
Okay.
4. And there's not really much to say there. I am glad they added this mode because when I just quickly want to fight something or the combat in that game is so fun that like I really don't want to. I just don't want to go through the cutscenes again to get to just segmented battles. And then this way, it's like I beat a stage, I immediately get transported to a clear stage, and then I go through a portal. Stage starts. Like it's just fight after fight after fight after fight. And it's fun because like all the other Bloody Palaces, it's not as simple as just beating all the enemies to get through the stage.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to defeat them stylishly.
Mm-hmm.
Stylishly and efficiently because you have a timer. So the way you lose is that if your health goes down to 0 or if your timer goes down to 0. And so if you kill people at higher style rankings, you get more time bonuses.
Okay.
Or if you beat the stage with taking no damage, then you get a time bonus added onto your clock. And I've been playing that for a while.
Is there any incentive, or is it just leaderboards?
I think there's leaderboards, and then I think there's I think you unlock like infinite Devil Trigger mode at the end of it. I want to say
Okay.
like I think there's something like that, like some in-game thing that makes it totally easy. But other than that, there's not much. And then the other thing I downloaded was the paid one, which was Virgil's Downfall.
How much is this?
$8.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was so it was $8. Virgil's Downfall, and it takes place after the end of the game,
Okay.
of the main game, the bot game.
Right.
And so you play as Virgil. You're stuck in limbo trying to pretty much make your way back to the real world or just escape from where you are. Playing as Virgil is not very fun.
Why?
So he still has the what is it? He has a heavy attack, light attack,
Mm-hmm.
but in comparison to Dante, his moveset is extremely limited. Very extremely limited. So by the time you get halfway through the content, you've pretty much experienced all there is for Virgil.
Uh-huh.
He does have his spiral sword still, so you can summon like ethereal swords for your guns. You don't really have to use those. It's not really worth it to even use those. His devil trigger, he doesn't go into like a demon mode.
Mm-hmm.
He either does the special spiral swords where he shoots 5 rapidly. He has the shield around him of swords that spin around, or he can set up like he can put like a crown of swords on a guy, and then after a delayed amount of time, it'll damage him.
Yeah.
And that costs devil trigger. And then the other one is that you can make a doppelganger of yourself, and it copies every attack you do. And that's kind of whatever. Like nothing about this DLC was outstanding, like in the main game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of reused assets. There's only one new enemy type, and he's pretty much he's just one. He's one of the main game stereotypes with a small twist.
Yes.
He's nothing special. Or just two. Yeah, there's two different stereotypes, and the other one is just like not fun to fight, and you only face him a total of 2 times in the whole DLC. And I don't know. I just don't really recommend this DLC to buy. Like if you got like basically all you need to know is that Virgil got sent to hell, and now he's coming back for a sequel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. There's nothing there. Like the whole journey is pretty much a waste. Once you get to the end, you realize that you're still in the same mindset. Like no big revelation has happened in the story that you're missing from this DLC. And also, you can't even use Virgil in the Bloody Palace mode.
Oh.
Yeah. So
well.
yeah, and I kind of feel because his moveset is like so when Dante gets angel and devil attacks, like heavy and light attacks, he gets new weapons. With so you get 2 new weapons on angel side, 2 new weapons on demon side, and then you have your regular rebellion, your normal sword. But with Virgil, all that happens is that on angel side, he swings his katana really fast, and then on devil side, he swings it really slow, but they're hard hits. He has no new weapons, and that I didn't think that just the fact of having a different skin or acting weapon would change that, like really impact me that much, but it does add to a lot of the fun seeing the different styles mesh with each other with Dante. But then when you use Virgil, it's pretty shitty. But yeah, it's really disappointing. I don't really recommend people pick that up. Also on the PC, I bought a game called Antichamber. It's a puzzle game that was on Steam. It was on sale, and I picked it up. It's a first-person puzzle game. I guess you could say in the vein of Portal.
Yes.
But really, it doesn't really play like any puzzle game I've played before. It's a lot of messing with your perception of how puzzle games are. Right, and it's one of those games that's hard to explain. Like I really want to tell you all these great things about it, but out of context, they kind of sound
dumb.
They sound dumb and they sound weird.
Okay.
And they just don't. They won't make much sense. Here, I don't know. I'll try. An example I could give you is that there is you walk down this hallway and you enter a room. The room has a window, and through that window you see a whole different room. Okay. But when you go around the window, the room is still the room. Like, and there's nothing behind it. There's nothing there. And you're like, well, why am I looking through this window, right? And so what you can do is that if you put your whole body up against that window so that your field of vision is only the window, and then back out, you are in that room that you were peering through the window in.
Okay.
And it just automatically changes, right? And it's a lot of perception messing and like just messing with you as a player, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it really does make you think outside of the box of what a normal puzzle game would do. And it's actually got me. I really need to take breaks from this game because at some points I'm just at a wall and I don't know where to go because there's a lot of looping. There's a lot of like places where you'll get to a dead end and you have to start over. There's also a lot of things where when you start the game, there's a lot of paths you can take that'll trick you, that are fake paths pretty much, and then lead you right back to the beginning of the game again, like right back to the beginning of the first chamber. And it's like, oh fuck. But the cool thing is that once you've unlocked different rooms and different puzzles, you can go to a main hub, and then it's like, okay, I got warped back to the beginning. Instead of going through all those puzzles again, I can go back to the main hub, click on the chamber I was at, and then warp to that chamber, and then try to figure out the puzzle from there. But yeah, it's really, really fun, and it's kind of messes with me a lot. I have to take breaks from it once in a while because eventually I get into a mode, and then that mode is actually counterproductive to me playing because each room is so different. So yeah, I really want TJ to play this because he really likes puzzle games. I really want to see what he thinks about it. And then the last thing I've been playing I've been reading. It's a manga called One Punch Man. It's not released here in English, but it's an action comedy about this guy. All he wanted to do was he wanted to be a superhero pretty much. And so he trained and trained and trained. But he trained until the point where he's so powerful that he can finish every fight in one punch.
Okay.
Yeah. And it causes a lot of frustration for him, right? Because all he wants now is a meaningful fight. And like the very first panel is like this Piccolo looking thing comes from space and it like destroys all these people, like kills humans, and then this guy who's drawn really comedically and like simple in comparison to him shows up and he just punches him once and it's like oddly gory. Like he punches him and a hole appears in him and like blood and guts and like he has an eye falling out, and it's like it's actually pretty funny. And it's only like I want to say like 28 chapters so far, or that's on Manga Fox at least. But it was a very entertaining manga while it lasted.
Yeah. Wait, it's done?
No, it's not done. It's just there's only like 27 chapters out.
So what's the conflict even? If he's just gonna.
So what happens is that he after he goes through and you learn about the character and you pretty much learn how powerful he is. He meets up with this other cyborg guy, and the cyborg wants to learn from One Punch Man in order to become a better hero because the cyborg also wants to be a hero. But then it just turned like for a while, for the longest time, it was just villain of the week, and then it was pretty much a comedic build up to beating him in one punch, right? Because all these people like think like there's this one guy he's like a half lion, half man. And he's like, oh, I'm the Beastmaster, I'm the best. And he does this like crazy claw attack where he swipes the air. It misses One Punch Man, but it cuts like a building and like the next neighborhood over into thirds because he has 3 claws, right? And it's just so powerful. And then he's like, oh, that was it? Okay. Boom! And then punches this guy so hard that his head caves into his chest. And then he like holds his eyeball. And he's like, oh, well, that was really fast.
Oh.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun thing. It's actually on the most it's on the most popular list right now on the sidebar of Manga Fox. It's pretty fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
recommended read.
Props to them for finding a way to prolong the series when it's just all he does is end in one punch.
Yeah, ended in one punch. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, the last couple chapters have been it's like chapter 21.1, .2, .3, and they're just really, really detailed versions of action scenes. So it shows like it's like if they were the flip panels for seeing it in animation, pretty much. So like they show this really detailed animation of a robot flying through the sky and then landing on a building, and that's one of the chapters.
Yeah.
And if you go through the pages really fast, it looks like it's the animation for it. It looks really cool. Okay. So they do a lot of cool things with the actual manga itself. Yeah. But then also with the story, it's just really comedic and kind of ridiculous. Okay. Like all manga. So
sounds interesting. It's just the extreme gore is throwing me off.
Yeah. It's not super graphic. Like they don't like detail intestines and stuff, but they still do get blown into mists of blood. Yeah. Yeah. And like there is a scene where he's like where it was the Beastmaster and the gorilla and this other guy, a gorilla. And so he's like, I'll never tell you my plans. The Beastmaster will come and he'll take you all out. I'll never have to reveal this. And then One Punch Man just walks up with the Beastmaster's eyeball. And he's like, oh, you mean this guy? And then the gorilla's like, let me tell you everything. Because holy shit. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah.
That's cool.
Read that.
That's
been my week.
Blaven, do you want to follow that up?
Yeah, so my week I've been playing Etrian Odyssey for the 3DS. It's a roguelike game where you basically traverse a map with a party of characters that you create with different classes. And you draw the map on your own, and it has monsters, and I'm assuming traps. I never ran into one. Yeah. And other such things to block your way to go I don't know where. There's a sort of a story.
Idrisil?
Yeah, Idrisil the tree. They're like, you got to get there. You got to get through. Yeah, you got to get through all this. I heard it's kind of not story heavy, but man, the story's just driving me along with character development. It's just But the thing that Etrian Odyssey I think is most notorious for, I would say, is there's difficulty. And
I don't think the game Etrian Odyssey actually isn't difficult. It's just reliant on your tolerance for grinding.
Is it? Is that what it is?
I always hear those games are really grind heavy.
Yeah.
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 Like roguelikes are not by design difficult. It's just, do you have the patience and the will to grind it out?
Or will this game break you?
Like you'll never be able to beat a strong monster through smart tactics alone. It's, are you strong enough?
Are your points above this
one?
Yeah. And I guess the thing that they help alleviate that, to I guess make it more accessible in the West, is casual mode, where enemies do 40% less damage, you do 40% more damage, your warp back to town thing is Infinite.
Yep.
And when you die, you just get warped back to town.
Yeah.
So I'm not playing in this mode.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid this mode to see what it's like a true Etrian Odyssey experience.
You never played Etrian Odyssey, right?
No, never. And TJ, our resident Etrian Odyssey specialist, even recommends going in casual mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, normal mode is really tough. Yeah. I realize that
it's not normal.
Yeah, when you're under leveled and you haven't grinded, as you said, they can kill you pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Even with oh no way they can beat this party formation. Yeah, you can. Yeah, they'll just brute you to death. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually thinking about going into casual mode now. Yeah.
Do you have to restart the game for that, or
no? It's just you can switch it any time on the main menu. So it wasn't really a loss for me to just try.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. They have a lot of QR codes that they've released via the Atlas Fan website, their Twitter, and it gives you a bunch of helpful items and quests that you can do for a little bit of extra experience. And the items are really good for the beginning of the game, so I really recommend that. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I hope to have more report of it next week. Second thing I've been doing is that while playing this and Monster Hunter, I've been watching Gundam Wing.
Oh yeah,
and I'm currently on episode 35 or whatnot.
How many is there?
49.
Okay.
And they don't change the ending or the opening and ending until 40.
What?
Wow, weird, right?
Huh.
Weird, right? Yeah. So, and I thought it was just an English thing. No, it was a Japanese thing.
Huh.
But yeah, no, 49, and yeah, the story is it's okay, I guess. It's interesting to see the progression. But it's basically the same as any Gundam story. There's two sides, and then there's one guy in the middle who wants to take over both sides. Mm-hmm. In Zeta Gundam, it's Titans, and here it's Oz.
Yeah, I feel like all Gundam stories they have a template.
Yeah,
and then they just brainstorm names.
They just fill it in.
Yeah,
yeah. So I was like, I see, and I couldn't even defend it by saying it was in the. It was just, maybe it's new for its time. No, there was a bunch that came before it and after it.
Yeah.
That were all just the same.
Yeah, that is the problem.
Template. Yeah. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying seeing how the new mechs come about. Mm-hmm. Because, I didn't know that Quattro was the one who first piloted Wing 02. Mm. And then
it went to...
Yeah, and, I didn't realize that Wing 02 was such a powerful unit that it drove everyone insane who would use it.
The Zero system.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, and I didn't realize that Deathside spent almost 50% of the time he's been around incomplete.
Yeah.
And he's still strong. I was like, man.
Because he has to get his upgrades.
That's why Deathside's cool.
It's him and Ultron.
Ultron?
Yeah, don't they get upgrades?
Is Hell Deathside the final upgrade? Is that the final version?
Deathside Hell is the second one.
Oh, okay,
and Deathside Custom is the last one. But that was...
No, they all 5 of them have new ones for Endless Waltz.
Yeah, that's just for...
Endless Waltz Custom. The one that everybody loves with the wings, that's not part of the end man.
Okay.
Yeah. Which one's the one with the wings? Oh,
and the spike boots?
Yeah. Where he loses all sorts of projectiles and all he has is the
scythe.
Yeah, that's the one where he has the bat wings.
Yeah.
That's Endless Waltz, right?
Yeah.
This is the one I'm talking about that he has now is the one with the cape.
Yep.
And the cape opens into 4 panels.
Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that Heavy Arms didn't get an upgrade.
No.
Sandrock didn't get because they never made it to space. Or they didn't even use them that often. But yeah, no, it's interesting to see. I will say that my old favorite units, and they still are now, are the Mercurius and the V8.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think anybody remembers them, but
who passed them? Hero and
Troa.
Yeah.
And basically one is a giant beam cannon that's self-sustaining.
Yeah.
And the other one has a defensive system that's impenetrable.
Yeah. And
they have to work together.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought
it made no sense that after their tests they made the unit that combined both of them and they were all shit.
Which one was that? Oh, the
army.
Yeah.
They were just whatever.
Yeah. Is it Libras or I can't remember what they were called. Then there's Leos, the Aries, the Pisces, the Cancer.
I think they were the
Virgos.
Oh, the Virgo?
The Virgos and the Tauros.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was insane. Yeah, I thought that was crazy. The mass production. But I haven't seen the Epion yet, but I think he's the final big boss, right?
The Epion?
Yeah.
That's
Trace Kushinaga and stuff. But yeah, the little episode I just left off, it was just activating. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, the Talgeese is still cool. He doesn't get an upgrade, I don't think.
No, he gets 0.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
And Hero gets the Epion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this show's good. I like it a lot. A lot of politics. A lot of things about characters I didn't know about. I didn't know Quattro was driven insane.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Desert would do that to you.
What? No, it was insane because of something that happened.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Troa defected over to Oz for a little bit
Mm-hmm.
in the guise of. I didn't realize a lot of things when I was a kid. Didn't realize Lady Un had like a secret. I thought that was. Never mind.
Not a lady.
Yeah.
No, I always thought that she looked like another character, and then like when I found out what. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I know you're getting that.
It's just like I don't want to spoil it, but it's just like, man, what? That happened?
Yeah.
It's like, blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, liking the series a lot. So trying to finish it. I don't know when, but yeah. Yep, that's my week.
Cool. I'm gonna start off with The Walking Dead season 3 just ended,
Sad times.
and I gotta say, I thought season 1 of Walking Dead was amazing.
Yeah.
Season 2 kind of pandered for the first 3 quarters, and then the final couple episodes was awesome. Season 3 starts off like, I would say, just as good as The Walking Dead has ever been, and then they take their mid-season break, and they come back, and it's just a whole bunch of nothing happens. Like, it's a whole bunch of pandering, all this hype for the ending, and they throw in some extra episodes that are kind of like, I'll put them as side quest episodes, which are kind of fun, and they don't really add to the overall story, but they're fun, and I'm glad they exist. But like the final 4 episodes of The Walking Dead is all this hype for this big battle, and then the finale is just, it is wasted. All that hype is just dispelled, and it is not taken advantage of. They rely on your care for a certain character to really affect you, but it doesn't work, I find. And now I don't know where the show's gonna go, and I almost want to drop off.
There's gonna be a season 4.
Of course, there's gonna be season 4. I probably will still continue watching, but like I almost have. There's nothing that's holding me to the show anymore. Like there's nothing I really enjoy about it. Even what's his face, Daryl, crossbow dude.
Yeah.
Even he's not that interesting anymore. Like,
is he still back with his brother at the end of that? Because the last episode I saw, he went with his brother, and I kind of don't want to watch it because he's not in the main cast anymore.
Oh, well, you should watch it then just to see what happens to him. But like, yeah, like even Daryl's not that interesting anymore. They're trying to hype up Carl, and I've always hated Carl.
Everybody hates Carl,
you know, and like I don't know. Like it's not that I don't like his character. I just don't like the actor who plays Carl. Like he just seems like such a little bitch. He is not selling me on what that character.
But he also played a bitch in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I'm just saying, like he's trying to do this turnaround thing, and it's like where he becomes a badass, and like I'm just not sold on it, man. Like you need some acting lessons. But
he's a child.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought season 3's finale was a disappointment. It wasn't as spectacular as last season's. But yeah.
Okay.
That was that. The other thing I did was I watched the documentary series BBC Life.
All of it?
All of it. All 10 episodes.
Holy crap.
Now, I've been watching this over the past month, so I just only finished it recently.
Finished all yesterday.
So there's 10 episodes. Each of them are an hour long. And I mean an hour long.
Like pure hour.
Yeah. And it is just fascinating, this series. Like, most documentaries you watch, like it's split up into sections, like reptiles, insects, birds, mammals, hunters and predators and whatever. And you always expect to see certain things in, like, let's say, for example, let's try out mammals. You always expect to see like big cat fights, right? Or like cats, like lions and stuff hunting, whatever. So with every one of Life's sub-series, they try and go out of their way to not show you what you're expecting. So they go for the weird stuff. The stuff that people don't really know about. The stuff that's never been filmed before. And it's really, really crazy, interesting things. Like, it's like, I didn't even know that was a thing. One of my favorite ones that I watched was the plants episode. It's just like, there are some crazy plants.
Plants
like,
are fucked.
Plants are crazy.
Like,
plants are fucked.
Everybody knows Venus flytrap, but it's like, there's some other plants out there that is just, whoa, I can't believe that even, like, how does this happen? Same with, like, insects. Like, you always expect to see ants and, like, everybody knows.
They lift 10 times their own weight.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, but no, they show other things. They show, like, beetles with, like, massive horns. Like... common riders would be scared. Like, it was insane. And I think, though, my favorite thing about the Life series is that the final 15 minutes of each episode is dedicated to showing you how they got some of these shots. Because some of them are just incredible. And they're like...
Mm-hmm.
The Plants one is... Plants is basically... It's a lot of time-lapse stuff.
Okay. So
they tell you, like, this 60-second sequence took us 2 years to film.
What?
Yeah, and it's like, whoa, that is incredible.
Yeah.
They did this thing about, like, the coral reef, and they're like, no, in order to do this, like, we could go to Australia and film the Great Barrier Reef, which we did, but we want to show you the beginnings. So they set up, like, a wreckage, and then they left the wreckage there for 2 years, and left cameras there for 2 years to show the beginnings of how a coral reef starts, and how it becomes everything it is.
Wow.
It is crazy.
So they made their own coral reef?
Yeah, or like they go to Antarctica and they drill a hole at the most southern point they could find just so they can see starfish. And they're there for a month filming starfish, time-lapsed. And it is like the things some of these people are doing just to get these shots, or like being in South America in the middle of nowhere in a rainforest, and there's this dude who sits in like a little tent for 11 hours straight just to film this one bird.
Wow.
Like,
what? That's insane.
Yeah, like I was taken aback. I'm like, I can't believe some of these shots even exist. And how did you... like the insect ones is crazy because it's like insects are so small and like some of them are rare, and like how do you even go about finding them in the first place? And when you do find them, how do you go about filming them in a natural state?
How are they even gonna, like, how do you know that they're also gonna do what you want them to do as well?
Exactly. Like this one guy was trying to film the birds mating, and it took him like 2 months of just every day sitting in this tent for 11 hours waiting for these birds.
That's the ultimate grind.
Yeah. And he's just sitting there with his camera, and like there's nothing he can do.
That's pretty awesome.
Like, yeah.
That's pretty...
What
that's
is some of your
dedication.
favorite facts that came out of this?
Some of my favorite facts. Oh, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of stuff. None of them are really coming to me, but I don't really know. Actually,
Okay.
I'm not too sure.
Oh,
there was this one little mouse thing.
Okay.
Mice are like, I don't know, the size of your fist.
Yeah.
You guys know how big rabbits are?
No.
Generally,
Rabbits?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
they're decent size.
Yeah. How big would you say they are compared to mice?
Compared to, I'd say
Oh,
they're...
like 10 times the size?
So there's this one mouse that hunts rabbits.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And the mouse is like, I don't have the strength to take you down, so what he does is he just chases him forever.
He chases the rabbit?
Forever. And then the rabbit just gets tired, and when he sees the rabbit starts to limp, or like just to like stagger, he bites at its neck. And he just makes little incisions and just holds on and bleeds it out while it's running.
That's crazy.
And then he eats the rabbit.
Well, I hope so.
Yo, fuck rats.
Yeah. Like this
Dang.
this one mouse, it is... I felt so bad for this rabbit because like it's in like a field full of rabbits and there's only one rabbit being chased and all the other rabbits are just kind of watching.
Like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, he's like, you're the target.
He's the one. Oh, God.
Yeah.
The rabbit can't fight
Oh, my
back.
God.
Yeah. Like it's pretty nuts.
Learning about that stuff's interesting. Like I remember I learned about I think it was like Japanese honeybees or something. Sometimes hornets come into their nests and try and like destroy their nests and take their shit.
Yeah.
And so what they do is that they've developed a defense mechanism where they all gather and ball around the wasp.
Yeah.
And they cover themselves over the wasp so it's fully covered. And then they all start vibrating at the same time by beating their wings.
Yeah.
And the combined friction of being within that area sucks away oxygen and keeps producing more carbon monoxide. And then also the friction mixed with the carbon monoxide makes that area in the ball like get to the temperature of an oven.
Yeah.
Like 400, 500 degrees. And they cook the hornet until it dies.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But speaking of bees, one of my favorite ones in there was there's this type of African bee, not the African killer bee that everybody knows about.
Yeah.
But there's another bee where they lay their eggs in the ground, right? And then the bees
go do bee stuff.
Yeah, and then the babies, they grow up, and when they're fully matured, they come out of the ground. Okay, so there's this, the males actually come out usually first. and the males are bigger and stronger than the females.
Okay.
And they're known to kill each other during a mating season. Like the males always kill other males because they want to just do all the females.
Yeah.
And when every female comes out, like it is kind of sad, a female will come out of the ground.
Yeah.
And the minute she pops her head out, a male will rush her. And then just try and literally rape this bee. And then other males will see this and they're like, no, that's my target. And you will just see 10 male bees gang rape one female.
Oh, good for her.
But the thing is, they don't do it until there's only one left standing. So what they'll do is they'll kill each other. And sometimes in the process, they'll decapitate the female.
Oh, good for her.
So can you imagine, like, you're coming out, seeing the world for the first time, boom, 10 male bees come and rape you.
Oh.
That's
Like-
rough, man.
Like, it's a rough life. And at the end of all the mating, all the males are dead, all the females are pregnant, and the cycle starts over again.
No one's there to teach him any better.
Yeah, like, it's fucked up shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
But I loved it. I loved it, and yeah, it was I don't know. And then the people talk about like, yeah, we've been here 2 months filming these seals. We feel like they're our friends, but the whole reason we're here is to watch a killer whale eat one of them.
Oh,
And then when it happens, it's like we are kind of
We're out.
we're at an emotional like stance. Like we're happy we got the shot, but at the same time, it's like we lived with these guys for 2 months, and now you're just fucking toast.
Do the seals like hang out with them?
Yeah, and they're very interested and they're very playful with like the cameras. And it's always the baby seals who are like
Yeah.
the most interested, and that's the ones who
Get
the whales
eaten.
want to get.
Oh man.
Like they're like, we don't know what to do with ourselves, or like, yeah, we're hanging out with Komodo dragons, and it's like, or we hang out with like a wounded wildebeest, and we're waiting for Komodo dragons to eat this thing, and it's like, but
It's like we could save him, but
yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah, no,
But-
it's great, it's great.
Wow,
But,
holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. But then, no, the thing I tried to really, really do this week and finish was Bioshock Infinite. The reason I wanted to finish is because all the major game outlets are starting their whole super spoiler roundtables and having optimal discussion on everything. And I really wanted to see what other people thought. And so Bioshock Infinite is... well, I guess I should start off how I felt about Bioshock and my opinions on that. So I thought Bioshock was a fairly good game. My only issue with Bioshock I didn't like the world of Rapture.
in like underwater city.
Yeah.
No, it's not that I didn't like. I liked the whole like the Legend of Atlantis.
Yeah.
I didn't like how you got there after things had happened. And
Oh,
it was just a barren
okay.
wasteland.
Okay.
Okay.
Like it's the same reason why I don't like games like Fallout.
Is this Rapture?
What?
No, I'm kidding.
No, and like that's why like I don't like games like Fallout and stuff. Like I hate games with depressing settings because it's like I don't really want to be here. Like I don't care how fun it can be. Like if the world has already gone to shit, why do I want to be here?
I guess that's kind of the point.
Yeah,
Being there,
yeah. But there's things about Bioshock that they do great. Like that means that you can explore and learn about the world and stuff and what it was, and it works. Bioshock Infinite is kind of the opposite in that you come to a world that is still in its high, basically in the clouds, and it's a very fascinating world. I love the art style. I love learning about it. But it does pose some interesting issues that I found the original Bioshock did better, in that you're still allowed to go out and search and explore, only now it's really weird when you're going through people's bags and they're sitting on them, and it's like, would you like to search this bag? And they don't question you on it, right?
Yeah.
I'm stealing my stuff.
Like, and it's this weird sort of, I don't know if I agree with that. The thing is, the game has a really, really fantastic narrative, and it's very tightly packed together.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, there's so much urgency behind it, and this game asks you to go explore, that again, there's another disconnect. Like, well, should I be following the story because that's what it's asking me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Or should I go and explore the world and learn about it? And the more you explore, the more interesting it becomes, but the less the story makes sense in the grand scheme of things. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, it's weird.
Is it open world?
No, it's like Bioshock.
It's set points.
Yeah.
So like the what is it? The handrail systems aren't meant for you to travel.
No,
like island to
no.
island.
There's handles sections in specific areas.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, in that way, it does feel kind of like a throwback type of game where like
Mhm.
set levels, loading sequences.
Yo, remember set levels?
Yeah, like no,
Dang.
it feels like that. And I will say, like, I was taken aback the first time I saw a loading screen, and I was like, "Huh, that's interesting."
These guys aren't standing in an elevator.
Yeah, and the loading screens are terrible.
All loading screens are terrible.
No, like they have tooltips, which I don't mind, but they give you like spoilers for the next section you're about to enter.
What?
Yeah,
It's like, oh, don't
Or they-
watch out for this guy.
they give you things that are like they tell you about certain characters' motives, and you're like, I didn't know that yet. Like, why are you telling me this?
Oof.
Oh, that sucks.
And it's like, so I had to look away every time I was at a loading section.
Ouch.
But you know what? The game is very interesting. Like in the way it opens up, like it covers all the isms. Like you want to talk about religionism, racism, sexism. It covers all that, and it is fantastic to see a game tackle this.
Nice.
And then halfway through, the story takes a dramatic shift, and it kind of drops all that, and it just becomes a story about a guy and a girl. And I have a feeling a lot of people, while the overall story was fun, you may be disappointed if what you wanted was all of that political intrigue.
Okay.
I think for me though, I don't want to say it's a bad game, but
People usually are like, so I've seen all over Twitter is pretty much that ending is mind-boggling amazing.
it really is. It's just the combat is it's all about the combat. The combat is it's not bad.
Is it Plasmid's gun again?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's not fun.
Okay. Does it feel bad, or does it feel like not unique? Like
Exactly.
Is it just like I've already done this? Like, it's
Yes.
not that it's a terrible system. It's just that
No,
I've
you're
done
right.
this before.
It's not bad. Like it's not bad at all. It doesn't feel new. It doesn't. Okay, in Bioshock, the one thing I liked about Bioshock, the first one, was every time you had a fight, it was at most like 3 people.
Yeah, and those were the hard ones.
Yeah. Infinite is Call of Duty. Like, they send armies at
Swaves.
you. And I don't feel like this is the right kind of combat system to deal with them.
Okay.
And the skylines, as cool as they are, they only add to make things more hectic. And hectic as in you lose your... Like, I found myself losing where I was. Like I would get confused as to like, what the fuck is going on? Who am I fighting again? Like, what is happening here? Basically, every time I ran into a combat scenario, it was more like, okay, I have to get through this, but I never looked forward to it.
Even like the new powers, nothing?
No. And the thing is, when you find a power you like, you kind of stick with it, and then the game becomes stale.
Well, that's what was Bioshock too. It's
Yeah.
like if you got really good at it, lightning headshots. That's all you needed.
Exactly. The problem is, I found a power I liked very early.
Which
And
is that?
they give you no reason to deviate from it. Like, they don't really give you any incentive to... Like, yeah, they tell you you can do total cool, like, combinations of your powers.
Yeah.
But there's no real reason to do it other than to see it happen or to get the achievement or a trophy.
No, that's the problem with those games. Is
Yeah.
that like my favorite power is the tornado trap in Bioshock.
Yeah.
And just laying that down and watch people hit the trap and just go flying into the air, and I'm like duck shooting them at the air, right?
Yeah.
But that's not efficient in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. So it's lightning
Yeah.
headshots or lightning wrench.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I used guns at the end game of Bioshock
Yeah.
because I just put all my weapons, my powers into my wrench.
Yeah.
So I would like shock a dude, just come up, boom, shatters into ice, sets on
Yeah.
fire, all the elements you can think of,
Mhm.
and then dies.
Yeah, so, like, my favorite power in Infinite is very similar in Mass Effect. You know the Vanguard's charge ability? Like,
Yeah.
you just run as that.
Oh, okay.
So,
Do they get like they get shot back and stuff? Or?
Yeah, and then I had a add-on bonus where, like, any melee touch adds explosion damage. So you
Okay.
could just imagine I was just running into people.
Boom,
Yeah,
boom.
exactly. And that's what my game became. And I was kind of like, this is totally, like, efficient, and it was cool the first time around, but at the end of it, I was just like, I don't even want to, like, do these combat scenarios. The most, like, I will say, like, this game is amazing in every possible way except when it comes to actually playing the combat scenarios.
Okay.
And there's a combat scenario, like, every 5 minutes. and they're always rush a dude with 60 guys and see how it goes, you know. And none of I don't know. I really like the Big Daddies. There's nothing that's comparable here.
Like there was like a dude who shot flames from his face, and like they're all in weird
like
robots.
a fireman.
Yeah,
yeah. Like none of them really capture that interesting that was the Big Daddy.
How often do they appear?
Every combat scenario.
What, Big Daddy?
That is exactly why.
Yeah.
Is it Big Daddy?
No, it's
No.
So
like
I thought these big special guys were going to be Big Daddy equivalents. And the thing that made Big Daddies special is that A, they appeared in semi-random areas in the level.
And they were scary. B,
they will fuck your shit because they only appear every so often.
So they have a new one here, but it's not anything comparable to that.
No, and it's okay. And there's variations. There's firemen, there's patriots, and there's the handyman.
Okay.
The handyman are the biggest and probably the closest to a Big Daddy, but they're not they don't hit that same sort of I felt like I conquered something here.
Right.
Well, I think that I don't know. For me, it was the reason Big Daddy is I felt awesome being a Big Daddy is that they don't appear every battle.
Yeah.
They are very scarce throughout the whole game. So and if they're really appearing every battle, like you say,
they are.
Then I don't think I wouldn't be pumped for that. I'd just be I took you down again.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's Elizabeth.
Boobs?
Elizabeth is probably my favorite video game character. Elizabeth is just that amazing as a character. In both how she presents herself, her animations, and just how her character evolves throughout the story.
Okay, cool.
There are some weird spots, though. I said, this game urges you to explore, and that's how I would recommend playing the game. Explore the world, learn about it, and, just take it. More often than not, I never ran. I kind of just slightly pushed on my analog stick to walk so I can just take in everything. But there are moments where Elizabeth, you and Elizabeth are in a heated debate, and she just doesn't want to talk to you and stuff, right?
Okay.
But then the next minute, it's hey Elizabeth, can you break this lockpick? No problem. She's all bubbly and whatever. Or here's some ammo. I found this for you. Have some health. And it's that's weird. We're in the middle of a debate, and yet at the same time, it's not affected you. I feel these are just small things that they could have worked on.
Yeah.
Or there's scenarios where it's really urgent. I am in the middle of a chase sequence. There is this other hall corridor I can go down and explore in the middle of this chase sequence. And it's do I explore this hallway? Because I know there'll be some interesting things I'll find. Or
you did.
And I did. And then I'm what am I doing again? Oh, right, I'm in a chase sequence. And it's all these levels of disconnect. I think my biggest issue by far with the game, though, is I don't think it should have been a first-person shooter.
What? What would you rather it have been?
I don't know. I don't even know if a shooter
fighter.
Maybe.
Beat 'em up.
I don't know. I
platformer.
I think for me, the only reason this game is a first-person shooter is because for some people, I guess you get the most amount of immersion if you see through the eyes of the character.
Yeah.
Problem is, I don't know. You aren't Booker. Booker is this established person, and I don't feel I was him at any point.
Hey, this is Vince's problem. He hates established people, but when you give him too much freedom, like Etrian Odyssey, he doesn't like it either.
Exactly. No. I love established characters. I just don't think I needed it to be a first-person shooter because, honestly, as a first-person shooter, it's a pretty mediocre game.
Right.
Yeah.
God. We're going to get universally attacked by... it's perfect 10 out of 10.
No. The thing is, I understand where that 10 comes from. I understand why this game has a 97 or 95 Metacritic. And it is because this game manages to rival what other form... in narrative alone, what other forms of media have been doing successfully, in books or in movies or in shows. And that is the sole reason you should play this game. But it is not a very... fun game if I were to be completely objective. At the end of the day, what I found most fun in this game was looking at things, listening to the audiobooks,
which were subsequently my favorite things in Bioshock.
But again, as a game, you tell that to anybody, that's fucking boring, right?
Yeah.
That is completely boring, and it takes a certain type of person who find that enjoyable. And the only reason I feel this is a first-person shooter is that it is to gain It is to get. It's the ease of entrance for those unfamiliar with the franchise.
Okay.
Right. And I think that is the genius of this game. Like, even though they like. Something tells me if Ken Levine had it his way, this game would not be a first-person shooter. It'd be something totally different. For all I know, it could be just an adventure game, right? But I feel like in order to make sales and whatnot, he had to make it a first-person shooter with slight RPG mechanics. He had to give the cover of that game be very generic and garner the appeal of casual audiences. But yeah, no, I definitely recommend it. If you ask me how I feel about the game in comparison to other games I've played recently, I would say Tomb Raider is the better one.
Oh, look at that.
However, I think Bioshock Infinite is the best narrative experience I've had in a video game.
Well, that's good.
Like, period?
Period. Like, yeah, like it is that fantastic. But again, like this is a video game. We came here to play games, and I don't know how much that is gonna affect someone's opinion on it.
Yeah.
Right.
But damn.
What's damn?
Because like, if the narrative's that good, wouldn't it compel you and just forget all about the game?
That's why I understand where the score comes from, because it is that right? Good.
That's the thing. Right?
And I'm not saying that like there are no mechanics in this game that are actually bad. They're just so bland.
So if Blaven only played one, didn't finish it, hasn't played for 2 years, and goes into this, I'll probably have a joyride.
Probably.
But you played 1 and 2, right?
I didn't play 2. I played 1. I mean, you don't need to have played 1 to understand this game.
No, but I mean, like mechanics wise, like I haven't played a Bioshock in a long time, but do you think it'll still feel familiar enough that like it'll still be bland?
I think the other thing is that it's not that it also feels familiar. I think that it also is just bland combat.
So you always thought the plasmid thing was bland?
Yeah, and it's weird. Like they.
Like I know you stick with 1, but isn't it so cool that you get 2 weapons?
No, it is. You're right. It is. It's like
You're a battle mage, pretty much.
Yeah. Like, conceptually, the combat design should make for an awesome game.
Yeah, right.
It just isn't.
Okay.
Like all the guns feel the same. It's just what is their rate of fire?
Okay.
You know, all the magic essentially does the same thing.
And a lot of people bag on Call of Duty, but that's the one thing I'll give them, is that they make their guns feel drastically different when
like there's slight differences, but they always manage to make them, like, you know...
They're always different.
Yeah, and it's not just class dependent. It's like guns within the same classes feel different.
Yeah.
Bioshock Infinite's like everything feels the same. You know, I will say the game is really easy.
Yeah?
Like, it is stupid easy.
Nice. Play on 1999 mode?
No, I don't really care. Because honestly, the thing about this game I love is the story. And if I didn't really care for the combat scenarios, but yeah.
Serious, huh?
But yeah, no, like, really interesting world, fantastic characters. Even the comedic characters, by far my favorite in the game. Elizabeth is probably one of the best video game characters ever. Story's great. The ending is totally fucked. It manages to hit very controversial issues. Yeah.
Wow.
I really want to play this now.
No, like, I recommend this to everybody, and I know there's going to be listeners out there who probably disagree with everything I say, but this will be a game that will be debated upon for years to come.
2013 Game of the Year?
No.
Not for you.
As usual.
No. No, like I said, as a game, I think Tomb Raider is better. When I put in Tomb Raider, it was like, I was consistently looking forward to actually playing it, rather than learning about it.
Okay.
The only other thing is, oddly violent.
Oddly violent, huh?
Yeah.
Hasn't that always been like that?
Yeah, I just don't feel like this game needs gore. Like, to this extent. It's one of those design decisions that I feel like, yeah, that'll appeal to the 14-year-old boys.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, Bioshock was oddly violent too. Like,
yeah, like
when little sisters stick the pacifier needles into them, and that's disturbing as fuck.
Yeah, but I felt like that was part of their theme. Whereas in Infinite, it's kind of like, well, why am I allowed to decapitate people? Like, why am I allowed?
Really?
Yeah, like, why am I allowed to like burn their limbs off and then decapitate them and then watch their skeletons dissolve?
That just sounds comedic.
It's part, like, there's just all these disconnects I've had with this game that is just weird. I think that's all I wanted to say. I'm looking forward to the DLC. I'm interested to see what they're going to decide to tackle because it is one of those endings that is up for debate.
Mm.
So I'm interested to see what they decide to reveal.
Mm.
And yeah. But yeah.
Bioshock Infinite.
Bioshock Infinite is a game worth playing. I am still debating if I should go through again just to understand
Everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw your Twitter post. Oh, big whoop! I went on Twitter.
Yeah.
But like, you going through it again, like, is that because like there's post game stuff, or like?
No, okay. The thing about the story is, I'll say it'll fly over 75% of people's heads.
Okay.
Even a lot of it I didn't quite get.
Yeah, well, a person like me who's pretty smart and pretty in tune with everything around him.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That's insane. It's insane that it makes you curious enough to play it again.
No, it does, because like the thing is, a lot of the key parts of the story are told in those audio things, and there's like 80 of them in the
Audio
game.
King.
Yeah, and I think I only got 60, but I want to figure out some other parts to it.
60. What
Yeah, yeah. The other thing too is, I think no one in this room will understand the majority of the American political issues,
America!
because and
I don't know.
Anthony's
I watch The
face.
Daily Show every day.
Anthony's face.
I watch The Daily Show and The Colbert Report every day.
you know a lot about American history.
I know a lot about comedic American history.
Okay.
I actually really like this. American history is interesting as well.
No, it is. It definitely is. But being raised here in Canada, like we're not.
Yeah, no, unless you like actively took history classes and stuff.
Yeah.
you're not gonna
Like
know.
I'm curious to see what like Europeans think of it, because there's a lot of like,
what Eurogamer's review is.
Pardon?
You're gonna see what Eurogamer's review is.
or just like what European audiences are.
Okay.
I don't really care about. I don't really care about the big.
The publications.
Yeah, because they know all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're in the scene. I'm curious to see what European audiences think. I know a lot of teenagers who pick up this game and read the score won't see the correlation, because there's a lot of things that like when you're 14 you just don't care about, right? Like, and you just don't know. You don't care about these issues more often than not. There will be like the one kid out there who's like, "Holy fuck, amazing!"
That was me with Metal Gear. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Yo, Metal Gear doesn't even come close to this.
Yo, whatever. Metal Gear is the best.
Yeah.
Fuck this game.
Okay, we have that on record.
I haven't even played it. Metal Gear is better than this game.
Yeah. But no, I urge everybody to go play it. That was a bit lengthy, and that was also the end of my week. I also played Fire Emblem.
I think you said that
Yeah.
already?
So I watched videos while we were talking about all these.
Of what?
Of all the games you've just been talking about.
Yeah.
Bioshock looks like Bioshock. Just straight up.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem, they do look like they have Jehooty feet.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like, it looks like, yeah, their feet are like just heels.
Yeah.
Weird.
Effed up, right?
Yeah, so crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, Fire Emblem. Play hard classic. That's the best way to play the game.
Is that what you're playing?
Yeah, hard classic.
And it's still...
Yeah.
Oh, is it easy?
I think that's like recommended difficulty for anybody.
It's the most Fire Emblem
E?
of E.
No. The most Fire Emblem is Lunatic 2 classic.
Yeah.
No. Hard classic is the way I recommend. If you play on even hard casual is fine.
What if you're someone like me who played Final Fantasy War of the Lions and then lost both your healers in the second battle?
Hard classic.
Hard class? Okay.
Yeah. It'll teach you.
It'll teach you not to be dumb.
It'll teach you to value your unit's lives.
No, but then again, you never knew about the permadeath.
I didn't know about permadeath.
Oh, that's
He didn't know about the get their body back.
Yeah, I made it all the way to like the 10th battle, and it was just impossible. Like I couldn't do it. And then Christian, our friend, he saw my file. He's like, "Where are your healers?" He's like, "Oh, they died, like 8 battles back." And he's like, "What the fuck? How'd you make it this far?"
Yeah.
Yeah, but can't you create new healers?
Yeah, but they're level 1.
He has to grind them up.
You have to grind them up, right?
So what?
I didn't grind them up. I just tried to go through with level 1.
God.
I was like, all they have to do is chuck potions. I don't have to level this.
Yeah. Yo, in Fire Emblem, you can make a girl character.
No way.
Yeah. I made a guy.
That's it.
Hold up.
I'm leaving.
Where's our friend Vince? This is insane. What? Why?
Okay, this is the only thing I'll say about my Fire Emblem. It has a marriage system. And I took a peek at some of the chicks you can totally get with, and I'm like, I need to make a dude. I need to make a dude. I do not want to spend my game worrying about which anime guy I want to bang.
Okay, guys.
Some of these girls look too good to pass up.
You heard it here first. Basically, Vince's priority was, what fictional anime chick can my fictional anime me bang the crap out of?
Welcome to the club, Vince.
Yo, I was thinking about it. I'm like,
Get
oh my
ready
God.
to have no real women.
Who has the best stat buffs that could fuse with mine and look a
Who also has the nicest hair?
Yeah. I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Like,
yeah.
See, admitting shit like that is just...
That's why we're friends.
And Etrian Odyssey, I made everybody try to look like as their real-life counterparts.
No, you didn't.
No, you
Not
asked
really.
us what we wanted.
No, but you picked the guy with red, shaggy hair. And there you go, you have red, shaggy hair. You picked the guy with the ponytail. I never seen you with a ponytail, but look damn funny looking like it.
I imagined you with a ponytail. It was funny.
I was going to make me a girl, but I'm like, yeah, maybe not.
And one of them is my, friend who's a girl who's blonde or brown-haired, and oh, there she is, she's a witch.
Yeah.
To be fair, the girl medics were way too moe for my tastes.
Moes.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're really pushing the moe in this game.
They're pushing the moe in everything made now, and it bugs me.
See, I knew you were going to get to this point.
Yeah.
Back in the day, remember when we used to have the
Because it's
whole, "I'm so
oversaturation
mad"?
now.
Yeah.
It's oversaturation. Like, it's fun when it's just Lucky Star, and it's like, oh, they're all cute. That's a cute, unique thing for them. But now it's everything. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah, it's Moe takeover, man.
It's disgusting.
Why do you think Elizabeth looks like she's so Moe?
It's disgusting. It's gross. It's gross.
Hot.
Okay.
Why do you think I love JoJo so much now? Because it's all men acting like men and being buff and punching things.
And being men.
Oh, you clearly haven't gone to the latest chapter then.
Yo, okay,
What?
you're reading JoJo Lion?
Yeah,
Fuck
right.
off. JoJo Lion looks like a bitch.
That's insane. Imagine you did.
Yeah, imagine I just knew all about the JoJo.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I bet he does. I bet he does. Because you know what? JoJo Lion does look like a fucking pansy.
Oh, God. You'll probably end up being your favorite.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He will be Anthony's favorite.
He's a skinny sailor.
Yeah, he's gonna be your favorite.
He's going to be your favorite.
He's gonna be your favorite.
No, I'm saying that Kujo's daughter is going to be my favorite.
No.
You're
Stone Ocean.
You're going to love it.
You're gonna want that to be your favorite. It's not gonna turn
Stone
out.
Ocean is going to be my favorite.
Yeah.
Or the Bancho guy from 4.
Yeah. Anyways, that is the end of the show. Remember, you can always write into us at tniab.letters@gmail.com.
And if you ever street pass us, right? You'll see me as Etrian Odyssey's TNIAB, and our thing cannot fit in the Etrian Odyssey bar for my message. Our type v3 or .podbean doesn't fit.
Oh.
I just hope people will be smart enough to type .com at the end of it.
Yeah, that's
Oh, that's what my Monster Hunter card says.
Yeah. It can fit in there?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because of the tiny text.
Yeah, that you can barely read.
Yeah. What is that? I can't
That's
read.
Capcom exclusive technology right there.
Yeah.
Tiny text.
Tiny text.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Follow us on the Facebooks.
The Facebooks.
Like us on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And for you listening to the YouTube stream, just click on that Show More button below the About section to find all these links.
Oh, and if you're attending the Vanguard Regionals this Saturday, April 13th, we'll see you there. Crush us.
Dude, you put so much money into your decks, you're gonna fucking crank people.
Dude, do you think I put money in my decks? I've seen decks people have, and it's like, yo, I buy the budgetist, but you buy the $800 ones.
You know, all SPs.
Yeah, and I found out another funny story. The guy I faced in the last Worlds, who beat me with the Spike Brothers, who said I was the toughest match he had.
Yeah.
He was runner up, right? The guy he faced, the winner of that Toronto tournament, is the world champion.
Oh wow.
But he's from the U.S. and he played in the North American qualifiers in
Toronto. Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's dedication.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's insane. Cool story, bro. So basically, I didn't beat the world champion. Because I lost against the guy who lost against me.
Sweet. All right, for myself, Blaven, Anthony, and TJ, this has been 300 in the Basement, and we'll see you in 1 week's time.
Love y'all.
Bye bye.